Okay, looks like we're live. Great, great. All right, hello, MLT family. How are you today? How's everybody? Just gonna make sure I see you all on another screen here so I make sure to answer any questions you have. Give me 1 second and I'll introduce myself. Okay, great. All right. Well, welcome everybody this afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to Mainline Today's Fit Fest series. I am Dr. Janine Darby. I'm a double board certified obesity and family medicine physician, best-selling author, and CEO of Lifestyle Changes, a virtual medical practice. I help moms get their sexy back after pregnancy and feel better about themselves through weight loss coaching, products, and resources. Today's topic, we're going to discuss good versus bad protein, carbs, and fat. So let's talk about healthy eating this afternoon. All right. So you can also join me on Mainline Today's Facebook every month at 3 p.m. like now on the first Thursday of every month at 3 p.m. Last month, I talked about mindful eating, and hopefully I see a few of you from last time. So following this session, Mainline Today will post a link to the Fit Fest page on mainlinetoday.com where you can check out more sessions in my session from last time, as well as other videos, view upcoming session topics, and download calendar invites from their Fit Fest calendar. So today, feel free to post in the comments. And if you're watching later, post hashtag replay with any questions or comments, okay? So thank you all for being here. So let's learn a few things today, and hopefully I can change some minds, some people's way of eating, healthy eating today, and give you a little bit tidbits, all right? So thank you all for joining this afternoon. Let's get into it. All right. So let's learn some basics about nutrition so that we can make more informed choices. We are going to chat today about macronutrients, proteins, carbs, and fats. And we're going to talk about how each one works together to help you stay healthy. And then, we're not going to touch on the micronutrients. Those are the vitamins and minerals, which are also important, but you just need those in smaller amounts in comparison to the macronutrients. All right. So what are macronutrients? What are macronutrients? So I did mention protein, carbs, and fats. So macronutrients are 3 energy sources found in food that provide your body with what it needs to work effectively every day. All right. So let me repeat again. So macronutrients are the 3 energy sources found in food that provide your body with what it needs to work effectively every day. So that's proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. All right. Okay. So the dietary guidelines recommend that all adults have a certain amount of macronutrients. So let me tell you a little bit about that. Okay. So carbohydrates, a person needs about 130 grams daily, or around 45 to 65% of your daily caloric intake should be from carbs. All right. Protein daily is different for females and males. So for females, you need about 46 grams, males about 56 grams daily. And then around 10 to 30% of your daily caloric intake should be from protein. Any questions so far? Okay. All right, I see your polls up there. What is the most important macronutrient? So go ahead and answer that question there. All right, so, and then for fats, you need around 20 to 35% of a person's daily caloric intake should be from fats. All right, so the percentage is a little bit higher than protein, but should not have many, but we'll dig further into this, okay? So these guidelines can be altered depending on the individual's need, whether you are looking to lose weight, whether if you're diabetic, you're going to change the percentage and also the grams of how much protein, carbohydrates, and fats that you get on a daily basis. All right, I see a question coming in here. Okay. Okay, how much does the protein intake differ for someone who lifts weights? Great question. So yes, so for females, like I said, it's 46 grams. But if you are exercising more than, this is like for normal, these are normal guidelines without considering exercises or lifting weights. So that intake can increase a little bit more if you want to build muscle. Also after working out, you may strip some muscle. So giving your body back some protein will be important as well. So definitely increase the protein intake if you're exercising, lifting weights. All right. Thank you for that question, Barbara. All right. So for females, I've seen up to 90 grams per day and also up to 120 grams per day as well, without any issues. But I'll get into some of the possible issues if you go up that high as well. But that's not uncommon to be 90 to 120 grams per day with protein. Okay. All right. So let's break it down. So let's break it down about why do you need each of these to fuel your body? What role does it play in nutrition, and what's good and what's bad? All right, so let's break it down. Okay, so protein. So like I mentioned, for females, 46 grams, males, 56 grams daily. Also 10 to 30% of your daily caloric intake should be from protein. All right, if you're exercising, you may need more than the 46 or the 56 gram as mentioned, and also the percentage changes as well for the caloric intake. So protein is called the building block because every cell in our body, in your body, requires it. All right, so pretty much all lean tissue, non-fat tissue in your body is comprised of protein. All right, so protein intake also helps repair your current cells and also helps build new cells as well. All right, so some sources of protein are lean meat, fish, eggs, soy, beans, nuts, some veggies, and then also meal replacements like your protein shake helps with protein intake. So is too much protein bad? What do you say? Is too much protein bad? Not necessarily, but you may endure some intestinal discomfort, constipation, indigestion, and dehydration. So just be mindful of those symptoms as well. All right. So for some people, you may need to intake a little bit of fiber to decrease constipation, increase your water intake as well to decrease the dehydration part and the constipation. All right. So listen to your body. If you're taking on too much protein and you're having some side effects from that, back off. All right. Okay. Okie dokies. All right, so let's go on to our favorite, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates have been in the news for years on years and years. So let's talk about it a little bit more. All right, so like I mentioned, your daily intake of carbohydrates is 130 grams daily for a normal adult, all right? Around 45 to 65% should be, it's how much you should have in your daily caloric intake from carbohydrates, all right? So what do carbs do? Why do we even need them? Why do we even talk about them? Why are they even important? So they provide energy for your body, all right? So this is very important, an energy source for your important organs, your brain, your heart. Those are the most important organs. Of course, there are other ones as well, but your brain needs carbohydrates to work. All right. So also, carbohydrates break down to glucose, which is pulled into your cells by using the hormone called insulin. All right. So everybody's heard about insulin. Insulin is used to bring in the sugar from the blood into your cells where it's processed there. All right. So glucose is your fast energy source and it's used for your body. And any unused glucose is stored in your liver and for later use. And then also, if you have excess carbs, and you intake that, it turns into fat. Okay, let me just repeat that. So any excess carbs that your body does not need, it's not storing or using for energy, or you're, exercising and breaking it down for more energy, is turned into fat. All right. Okay. So there's several types of carbohydrates. You have your simple and you have your complex. So your simple carbohydrates, a lot of people may say that's your bad ones. So those are your glucose, fructose, lactose, sucralose. And those you can find in like white bread, rice, pasta, cookies, candy, soft drinks. Should I go on? So simple and refined carbohydrates are your bad carbs, all right? So any of these, if you take in too many and indulge in too many, it can lead to obesity. It can lead to diabetes, okay? The other type of carbohydrates are your complex carbs. So these are your good carbs. So simple carbs, you break down very easily and quickly, and you want more of those things. So who doesn't want another cookie? Who doesn't want another cake? Who doesn't want another donut, right? So you break down and process those things so quickly that you want more. So that's your simple bad carbs, all right? So your good carbs are your complex carbs. So you break those down slower. And so who would want more complex carbs, right? So those are your vegetables, those are fruits, those are your whole grains, those are some of your starchy vegetables, your fiber. So you feel a little bit more full when you have complex carbs. You break those down a little bit slower. So those are much, much better for you than the simple carbs, all right? So fruits, even if you have one, who goes back for another one? Think about that. Okay, so I know some people ask me a lot about potatoes and things like that, because those are like starchy carbs. So some of the ones that, if you have to indulge in the starchy carbohydrates, I would recommend sweet potato, parsnips are good, squash, pumpkin, turnip, beets yams. So some of those are your better starchy vegetables. All right. All right. Let me see if there are any questions coming through here. All right. Okay. All right. I'm getting some good comments here. Thank you, Denise and Maria. Okay. All right. Okay, another question here. Any idea what might cause bloating and gas? Too much protein? So, great question. I'm getting further into this. So bloating and gas. So there are some vegetables that can cause that as well. Also carbohydrates, those simple refined carbohydrates can cause inflammation. It can also cause bloating as well. And then gas. So some of the vegetables that people complain about, oh my gosh, I feel so bloated, I feel gassy, are your broccolis, are your Brussels sprouts, I can't talk today, I'm sorry. Brussels sprouts, and some of those cause a lot of gas, all right? So just pay attention to your foods that you have on your plate and see what causes your symptoms. But definitely eating so many carbs can cause bloating and gas, inflammation, and then certain vegetables can also cause that as well. So just pay attention to that, okay? Also people that are sensitive to gluten can have some of these symptoms as well, Barbara. So pay attention to any foods that have gluten, okay? Okay. Thank you for that question. All right. All right. So it looks like there was a poll about which carbohydrates is better, simple or complex. So what did we say? Complex, right? Okay. So the other question is too much carbs bad for you? I think I addressed that earlier as well. So the answer is yes. All right. It can lead to obesity, diabetes, and other problems. So moderation is key. All right. Okay. All right. So let's move on to fats. So how much fats should we get in a day? So like I mentioned before, for a normal adult, 20 to 35% of a person's daily caloric intake should be from fats. All right. So fats are used for energy and also to support cell growth. It also helps protect your organs and help keep you warm in the winter. So some people have their comfort foods that may contain a lot of fats and stuff. Yes, to a certain degree, but not too much, because after winter comes spring and summer. So we definitely want to, look good in spring and summer. Okay. Anyways, fats also help your body absorb some nutrients like certain vitamins, like your vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K. Those are fat soluble, so you need a little bit of fat to be able to absorb those vitamins, okay? And it also helps produce important hormones that are used in metabolism and everything as well, all right? There are 4 types of fats that we can consume. So who knows some of those? All right. There are 4 types. So we have your saturated, we have your trans fat, we have monounsaturated, and we have polyunsaturated. So which one of those are your good ones and which one of those are your bad ones? Okay. So 2 of them are bad and 2 of them are good. So 2 of the bad ones are saturated and trans fat, and the 2 good ones are the monounsaturated and the polyunsaturated. So let's dive deeper into these fats here. Okay, so, okay. All right, so saturated fats are commonly found in meats, your fatty meats, and dairy products like milk, cheese. These fats you can have a little bit of, limit your intake. Don't overindulge in saturated fats. You need a little bit of fats, but not too much. So saturated fats can increase your cholesterol levels, so specifically your LDL. So when you go to your doctor, you get your lipid panel, and in your lipid panel, it breaks it down to your total cholesterol, your HDL, LDL, and there's some other ones in there, but we definitely pay attention to your total, your HDL, and your LDL. So your HDL is your good cholesterol, LDL is your bad cholesterol. So saturated fats can increase your bad cholesterol, all right? And also, in turn, block your arteries, all right? So definitely limit your intake of saturated fats. Trans fat, avoid, okay? At all costs, avoid trans fats. So I know now, if you go in the grocery store, you buy packaged goods or you buy pre-made packaged goods, you can see on the label, no trans fats and everything like that. So I think they started doing that around the late 90s, where they found like trans fats were really bad for your body. All right, because it included like the hydrogenated oils, which cause problems. They're harmful to the human. Okay, so things that have these hydrogenated fats, hopefully a lot of companies, factories now are not using these oils. Because I know with fast food, they would use these oils because they could use them on a regular basis with the fried foods and everything without having to change the oil. So avoid trans fats. So those are your fried foods, your French fries, your donuts, some baked goods can still have them, cakes, pie crust, biscuits. Should I name more? Should I name more? All right. Even margarine can have trans fats in them. So just be aware. So trans fats can raise your bad cholesterol. So what is your bad cholesterol? LDL, right? LDL is your bad cholesterol, and it can lower your good cholesterol, which is your HDL, all right? So no trans fat. So in the shift, you increase your risk of heart disease and also your risk of having a stroke. So like I said before, avoid trans fat at all costs if you can, please. Okay, all right. I see a few questions in here. Okay, Barbara, I thought the shift was to whole milk products versus skim and low fat, good or bad? So it depends on the individual, Barbara. So some individuals have family history of cholesterol issues. Some individuals are diabetic. Some individuals have hypertension. Some individuals have coronary heart disease. So it depends on the individual. So you can have whole milk because, it has certain vitamin minerals and some fats in it. So you just have to be aware of that. Skim milk, low fat milk products are definitely good with all the individuals that I just mentioned, and also individuals that are that want to lose weight as well. I do recommend skim and low fat milk products as well. Okay. Moving on. Great question. Thank you, Barbara. Great question. Okay, I see something else here. I can't do any milk or dairy, lactose intolerant. Okay, great. So Melissa's lactose. Okay, yeah, so there are other options now. You have your soy, you have almond, you have oat, goat milk, so there are some options there. Okay, see another one. Okay. I don't have my glasses on, so bear with me here. Does butter have trans fat? Given a choice between butter and margarine, which do I pick? All right. So butter has saturated fats from what I understand. So you can have a little bit of that, but just definitely limit your intake. All right. Okay. So back to trans fats. So also in some studies, it has been shown to increase your risk of developing type 2 diabetes. All right. So we talked about heart disease, stroke, now type 2 diabetes as well. All right, so pay attention to your labels. Any packaged goods that have hydrogenated oils, stay away from that, okay? So that's one way to find out if there are trans fats in your foods, all right? Okay, so let's talk about the good fats, all right? So your good fats are the monounsaturated and your polyunsaturated fats. So these are your good fats. Where can you get these good fats from? Fatty fish. So fatty fish such as salmon, tuna, mackerel. Those are some fish that you can eat. Nuts, seeds, avocado. Who loves a good avocado toast on whole grain? Of course. All right. Seeds such as walnuts, almonds, cashews, sesame seeds, pumpkin, flax seeds, all of those are good. And all of these things have the omega-3 fatty acids, which are good. So definitely pick up those things to include in your diet because they are the good fats. Also oils, certain oils are better. Olive oil, canola, safflower oil are some good ones as well. Did I mention olive? Yeah, I did. That was the first one. Okay. So those are your good fats to ingest. Okay. Avocado toast is so good. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Okay, so I know this was a lot to intake. So let me simply just summarize some of the things that I've mentioned here today. So to have a healthy eating pattern, which should consist of variety of vegetables, so your dark greens, your starchy legumes, fruits, especially whole fruit is good in healthy eating. Grains, so whole grains are better because those are your complex carbohydrates. You break those down a little bit slower. Fat-free or low-fat dairy, your milk, your yogurt, your cheese, and some fortified soy beverages are good as well. You have a variety of protein as well that we discussed, some seafood, lean meats. If you are a beef eater, make sure it's lean and not full of fat. Okay, poultry, eggs, legumes, your beans, soy products, nuts, seeds, oils that I discussed, olive, you have your canola, soybeans, sunflower, safflower, okay? And you have your avocados as well. Okay, I have a question here again. Okay, yogurt, what do I think about yogurt? Greek is very good for yogurt. So definitely recommend that. Yes. Yep, great idea, Janice. Yep, okay, great. And what are the benefits to all of this? So we talked about the good and the bad. So why are we even discussing this? What is the benefit of eating healthy? So you can maintain your weight, lose weight. You can reduce your cancer risk. You can manage diabetes. You can prevent diabetes in some people. Also, it helps with heart health, stroke prevention, strong bones and teeth, better mood, improves your memory and improves your gut health. All right, so that's why we're discussing this today, because of all these reasons and more. All right, so any questions, any further comments before we end this today? I hope this was helpful for all of you, and hopefully I answered your questions to the best of my ability. Okay. All right. Thank you all for asking these wonderful questions and commenting as well. Fat-free, not necessarily better. So what in regards to if you're buying fat-free foods or something like that? Yeah, so sometimes with fat-free, they can alternate and put like more sugar in some of the products. So you have to be careful with that as well, if that's what you're meaning. But if you have natural foods and everything that we discussed today, you wouldn't have to worry about the packaged foods saying fat-free, right? Okay. Okay, yogurt. Okay, got it, got it. All right, great. So thank you all for joining in today's session. If you found this session helpful, make sure you like, drop a comment below, share with your friends and family. You can join me here live on Mainline Today's the first Thursday of every month. That would be next month is October already. The year is going so quickly at 3 p.m. Make sure you sign up for Mainline Today's Healthy You Fit Fest from their homepage under events. I am Dr. Janine. I'm double board certified in obesity and family medicine. I'm a best-selling author and CEO of Lifestyle Changes, a virtual medical practice. I help mothers get their sexy back after pregnancy and feel better about themselves through weight loss coaching, my products, and resources. You can find me on all social media platforms at Dr. Janine Darby, or learn more about my services at www.lifestylechangesllc.com. Thank you all for joining me today. Hopefully this information has been helpful and you can utilize it to make a healthy plate and to live a healthy lifestyle. And have an awesome day and have an awesome Labor Day as well. Everybody stay healthy, be safe because it's still COVID, and wear your mask, 6-foot distance, and also wash your hands. All right, so that's my plug for COVID. All right, so thank you again for having me here, Mainline Today, and thank you, Mainline family and friends as well. Okay, thank you.